Welcome to the Real Retirees of New Jersey, powered by Liberty Financial Group and Artemis Wealth Advisors. Randy and Peggy Fisher want to help you retire once and retire right. Get more information at therealretireesofnewjersey.com. They never throw the first punch, but they're always a knockout.
It's all powered by Artemis Wealth Advisors and Liberty Financial Group. That's Randy Fisher. That's Peggy Fisher. These are the real retirees of New Jersey. Get all the information here in the show notes, the website, how to reach out to the team. My name is Mark Owens. Hey, I told y'all that I have an older brother that lives in Ireland, right? Y'all know that story. Yeah. You know he's in town right now.
That's so exciting.
And
going back to AC?
Yeah, I know, right? Well, what he's so amazed, and he obviously born and raised here. He was traveling back in the early 2000s, met a girl in Monaghan, which is a town about an hour and a half north of Dublin. They fell in love, got married. She moved over here. They had a couple of kids, lived here for about 10 years. When dad passed away, then they said, we got to get back home. So they've been back in Ireland since 2019. So there's his timeline in 3 sentences. But he says when he comes back here, the biggest thing he's noticed between a small town in Ireland and back in north of Atlanta, processed foods.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We travel to Europe all the time.
Oh, my God.
It feels so much better.
Yes. So much better. And you can eat like kings and queens and not gain a freaking pound.
I know. However, I will say,
like, I don't care if I gain a pound or not. But
yeah, but we don't.
Better,
but it's delicious, yes.
But when I go over there just to see my big brother, and he takes me out on the town, I drink more Guinness in 1 week than I do in an entire year. It's different over there.
Very different.
Totally different.
Totally different.
It's because it's not pasteurized over there. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
There you go. I just gave you another stat.
All right, thanks for joining us this week. We'll be back next week.
Everybody feels good about that.
But I will say, you drink too much Guinness, and that will tear you up.
Yeah.
Guinness tar, if you know what I mean. But, man, here's the other thing.
TMI, bro. TMI.
Listen, I've experienced it about once a year. And the other thing, you're thinking, oh, you're in Ireland, probably a ton of Jameson flowing. No. Jameson is the tourist Irish whiskey.
Yes, right.
Everybody over there drinks Powers Irish whiskey. So you walk into the pubs, and the pubs are the size of your living room.
That is correct. Yes.
And when me and Sam would walk into a little local pub, and they all love Sam because he's a big, loud American, and there would be a Guinness and a shot of Powers just sitting there as soon as we walk in. And
it's like Cheers.
Yeah, it really is.
Everybody knows your name.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Sam, what's the crack, Sam? But it's good to have him back home. And I know it's like, I know it sounds cliche, but it's all about taking care of the families. And I know that, one of your goals here is to make sure that not just you're taken care of, but the family's taken care of as well. And just to be able to hug my big brother's neck that we don't see each other enough, that it's just kind of like, life is good. I got, the world may have its issues, but it's
the simple things, right?
Yes.
Just a hug from the big bro is what does it.
It's also really hard to handle a 9-to-5 job when your brother's in town and all he wants to do is drink Guinness and 2 shots of Powers.
Yeah, you can't do that.
It's a daily routine.
Yeah.
It is. Oh, those little Irish girls, they will drink you under the table.
Listen, all the little younglings over there will drink you under the table. I remember we walked into those bars because it was 18 to drink there, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think so.
And all the 18-year-olds were in there.
Do they really have a drinking age in Ireland?
Well, the whole point being was I couldn't believe how
they put it in bottles.
Yeah, it's true.
Baby bottles.
Baby bottles.
They mix formula with
have your Guinness,
breast milk and Guinness.
There you go.
We were at a pub one night, and one of friends of the group, and a little short 5'0", 100 and nothing pounds, and you're American, let's go. That girl drank me under the table.
Yeah, they can do that.
I didn't know whether to cry or make out. I mean, it was amazing.
Make out.
Make out with a little Irish. Anyway,
I hope that was your wife.
Yeah.
I was single at the time.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Again, mind your business. All right, listen, let's talk about this for a second. Saw an interesting article from USA Today, and let's talk about the magic number in retirement. Maybe you don't need $1 million to retire after all. As this article notes, 97% of Americans have less than $1 million saved. Yet, 82% of retirees say they have more than enough money, and they're happy in retirement without that $1 million. So does this reinforce the idea that retirement is more about having a plan than finding that quote-unquote magic number?
Yeah, I don't even think it's the plan, but it also depends on many factors, I think,
Way too many.
Like there's so many factors, like, health. Are you healthy? Like, what if you're not healthy? Then you don't really have to worry about that $1 million, right?
Yeah. True.
How about your retirement age? When are you planning to retire? Are you going to wait till you're 70 or are you going to do it early? Can you do it early, right? about life expectancy.
Single, couple.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Right.
Do you need one or two, salaries to get you over? How about lifestyle? That's always a big one, right? Like
There we go.
we have
shopping comes right into
well,
that
yeah,
one.
it goes.
See? Right back
But
to
also,
shopping.
but then there's other clients that we have who are like, you know what? I'm just happy to be home watching TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't have to go to a job from 9 to 5
and it is
anymore,
true. I mean, you
right?
don't need $1 million to watch the sun go up
You
and down.
don't. You really don't.
Right.
Or like that guy in California, I always think he sat there in his.
I think he has a couple bucks.
No, but he was sitting right there on the beach in his Winnebago, in his Bud
Need I
Light.
say more?
And every day, me and Randy would ride our bikes past him, and there he was every day for like the 7 days we were there. It was just another Bud Light. And another
living his
RV
best
like trip.
life.
Yes, I mean, yeah. I kind of like enjoyed watching him. I was like, this is like the,
And every
the
time
easy life.
every time I say I want to go get an RV, what do you tell me?
Hell no. Like, I can't fit. There's no closets big enough. I need an RV for
The fantasy is nice, but
the fantasy
real
is real
thoughts,
nice. It is.
out.
It is a fantasy. It is definitely. But and also too, how about like Social Security timing? Like, are you going to take? When are you going to take it? Are you going to take it early? Are you going to
Do you
take
have
it
a
later?
pension or not?
Do you have a pension?
Did you save any money?
Did you save money?
Did you maximize your 401k?
Right.
Right. Oh, the bottom line.
Inflation.
How many times have I ever said this? This is like beyond umpteenth millionth time, right?
Yes.
The bottom line is anybody can retire when more money is coming in
Then going
than
out.
going out.
Yes.
Automatically, meaning that you don't actually have to put on your skirt or suit or shoes and go earn it.
Right.
It means that it automatically
It's
shows up
coming
at
in.
your mailbox.
That's right.
Right. So when that happens, kind of like the unemployed people that live, and drink Budweiser on their doorstep
And get an unemployment
the
check?
comes.
Yeah.
They don't have to go anywhere.
Right.
They're essentially, from my definition, they're retired.
Yeah.
Right? It's a shame, but it is what it is. The sheer fact is, ladies and gentlemen, like Peggy mentioned, I think lifestyle is one of the things that basically leads to most people's decisions, whether they can or can't retire.
Right.
And it really has to do with, not can you, if you, should you, it's at what point do you want to?
Right.
It's, I think retirement comes more to a want than a can.
Yes, I agree 100%.
There's a lot of people who can.
Yes.
And they're still working.
Yeah.
Right.
It's do they want to?
And they don't
Right.
want to.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of people that shouldn't have.
Yes.
And did.
Right.
So it becomes down to they wanted to, right?
Yeah.
Could they have made their life a lot different if they did X, Y, and Z? If they waited a little longer, if they put a few bucks away, if they spent a little bit less in an accumulation stage? All of those things apply. So, I mean, these I don't know, whatever you call them, these one-off numbers that these knuckleheads come up with.
1 million number.
1 million. I think it's absolute horse crap. How about someone who spends $400,000 a year? If they had a $1 million nest egg, they're going to be bankrupt very quickly.
Very quickly.
If you have someone who spends $10,000 a year, $1 million can last them 3 lifetimes.
Or what if you had like a bad health scare, a health crisis,
Health
and you
insurance.
couldn't
Health's a whole
afford
different
it.
story, right?
Well, that's a whole nother thing too.
Then we go from jackpots to hip replacements.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so listen, the whole magical number, I think people get too caught up on that. And I think what happens there is you get this hysteria and disappointment and depression where people start to think, oh shit, I'm behind the 8 ball because I don't have X. And this magazine told me that I needed this, or I listened to this TV
podcast
host. This duo married with money podcast crap that I'm listening to. They told me blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
So, don't get hung up on a specific number, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the number that retires you. It's the income in which you can receive automatically.
Because what do we always
that
say,
retires
Rand?
you.
Income is the outcome that matters the most.
I say lots of things. I don't know.
But
I was waiting to see what was going to come out of my
That's the
mouth.
famous line. Income is the outcome that matters the most in
is without
retirement.
fact.
That's 100% true.
It is a fact.
Right.
And what most people don't understand is that's the hurdle mentally that they need to get over in retirement. It's not, do I have enough? It's, do I have enough income?
Right.
And how do I get the income?
Yes.
Right? If I hit a lottery and I elected to say, give me income for life, I have money coming in the door. It's not a matter of, if I had $4 in the bank and I had $50,000 coming in every month, I'm happy than a pig in you know what.
Yeah.
Right. So it's, and then how about the opposite? I have $5 million sitting in a bank, but I won't spend it. And I make, $6,000 or $4,000 a month coming out of it because I want it to last forever in my mind.
Yeah.
Right. It's the amount of assets that are sitting out there, but the income, which is maybe infinitesimal or maybe it's, perfect for you. It's the amount of income that's coming in that they don't feel or they do feel is adequate. right? So it's the income amount that really matters the most, because listen, when you have an opportunity to do something during a month and you don't actually have to think whether next month you're going to have to not do something because you did something this month, or you went out to eat, or you went to a concert, or you went to a vacation, or wherever, and now what you did is, instead of saying, well, I had that in my budget, now it's, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to do without
for the next month
in order to go and do this. That's not how you retire. And that's what Peggy was getting back to, the plan. If you planned properly, then you can have all those things.
Yeah, you sure can.
Right? Maximize your Social Security, maximize the other forms of income. One of the things that people always say to us is this: how do I get more income out of what I have?
Right.
Well, use the right tool for the job.
Yes.
Right? If you had a bowl of soup, Peggy, you picking up a fork or a spoon?
I'm picking up the spoon, Randy.
Picking up a straw.
Yeah.
Now, when you had all your mouth done, I'm sure that's what you were doing.
Yes.
So, but the sheer fact is, use the right tool.
Right tool for the job.
Right? Use the right tool for the job. If I have a limited amount of assets, and number one, I never want to lose them because they're very important to me, and that's my nest egg. When you have a limited amount of assets and you want to get the most out of them, then you got to use the best tool for the job. And investing in the stock market may not be it, because you're gambling your nest egg or your life savings away in order to try to create a larger return in order to get income.
Right.
That's living on commission.
Yeah.
Not many people like to live on commission, right?
No, they don't.
They like to live on guaranteed paychecks.
Yes,
So if you have a limited amount of money in which you can actually utilize for your retirement and you never want to run out of it, then guess what? There are other forms of income in which you can create a personal pension plan from.
That's right.
What are they?
My favorite things.
Annuity?
The annuities.
An annuity.
The good old annuities.
An annuity. Change the word.
Yes. Call it a pension.
Throw annuity out the window.
And call it pension.
Let's call it a
Paycheck.
personal paycheck.
That's right.
How about that one? A personal paycheck.
Yeah.
So most people have never worked for themselves. They've always worked for somebody else, and they wrote the check, and Friday or every 2 Fridays you went and cashed it or got it directly deposited.
That's right.
If you want to create your own paycheck, you can do that with an annuity that you purchase for yourself. It will never run out.
That's right.
It lasts your whole lifetime.
Yes.
It can potentially be passed along to the next generation. And it will provide you an amount of guaranteed income every single solitary month.
Right. Sounds just like a Social Security payment, doesn't it?
That's exactly what it is.
There it is.
So Social Security is a
Annuity. Correct.
Let me ask you, as we're talking about the myth or the misconception that you have to have millions to retire comfortably. And if somebody comes to you, let me phrase that. How many times have somebody come to you and they say, well, Peggy, Randy, I'm ready to shut it down. I want to retire, but I don't have all this money. You do that deep dive. You do a portfolio x-ray, and you're able to say, you're doing a lot better than you think you are. How often does that happen?
A lot.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
It does. That is so true. Mm-hmm. It is.
And there are times where we've literally, and we're very proud of it, is retired people.
Yes.
Right?
I love when they come into the office. Just tell me, can I do it? Can I do it?
Let's find a way.
Yeah.
Right? Let's find a way. Instead of waiting another year or two, let's find a way. Or vice versa. Unfortunately, there are some times where we
do have to say,
you know what?
You got to work a couple more years.
Could you do it now?
Nah,
yeah,
maybe.
You could do it.
But the smart way is we got to
put it off a year or two. This is what it will be like. And they're like, well, I don't hate my job.
Yeah, I can do it.
Still do it.
Yeah.
So they see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
And now it becomes one of these things where we say, listen, let's go to Staples. We'll get one of those calendars you could check off every day. One to the next until you're ready to roll. And what it does is it provides you with a motivation and the discipline, again, for the last, let's say, 18, 24 months that, all right, I'm looking forward to this. I'm not going to go and be a spendthrift over these next number of months, whatever it may. Maybe I could put away a couple extra bucks. Maybe I can trim some of the potential rolling debt that I have, or get rid of any debt.
That's what we always say. Get rid of the debt first. Let's get rid of the debt.
Clean it up. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, think about this. Anybody ever been on an airplane?
I have.
The last 35 minutes of the flight, what do?
Buckle up, put tray tables up.
They clean up the cabin.
They clean it up.
Right? They clean up the whole cabin. They clean up the airplane. Not because the cleaning crew is going to get off on doing less of a job, but because they need to actually get everything prepped and prepared for landing. If you're going to prep and prepare for retirement landing, you need to do a cleanup before it happens, right? Get all your ducks in order. Know the plan in which you're trying to accomplish. Knowing how much money is going to come out of what account. Where you're actually taking risk or not taking risk from. we brought up the word annuity before. Should all your money go into an annuity? Hell no.
No.
Should all your money stay in the market?
No.
Hell no. No. That's absolutely stupid. That's asinine. But to devise a plan where you have money that is for tomorrow, money that is 100% liquid for today, and money that's guaranteed green that's going to walk through the door every month, and then maybe needs to have some supplementation to it from some other account, that's a plan.
Yes.
Right? Is it, do you know what those numbers are mathematically? Most people don't know.
They do not know.
We help.
We help with those numbers.
With
absolutely.
And then, as Peggy loves to do, she says, okay, now that we have this income number that we can potentially have, let's go to your expenses. What are we spending on a monthly basis?
Yeah, I like that.
And that shocks the shit out of people.
Yeah, I'd like to see the shock and awe.
They'll be like, well, only about $2,000 a month.
And then the other husband or wife will be like, wait, what? Wait, really?
I'm like, does that include property taxes? It includes income tax? No. So I go through that stuff, and then Peggy's like, well, let's think about this. How about your cable bill, your
utility bills, the phone bills, and then we add up, and then
exactly.
Oh, it wasn't only we needed 1,000. It was actually we needed 3,000.
Well, we really don't go out to eat or anything. She's like, and
the husband or wife goes,
like,
we just went out last night,
we go out
and then
5 days a week.
yeah. We do hear that a lot too. It's funny.
So reality meets fallacy. I hate to say it differently.
But that's why it's good for them to come to us, because you can, and then it's good for a husband and wife too.
I like it.
Sometimes people don't want to have that conversation. Even a husband and wife don't want to have that financial conversation. But when you get with us,
because you know what it's like,
and we're forcing it a bit, It's
like being on a diet and knowing you have to stand on a scale.
Yeah.
It's like saying, I don't even want to know. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
And then what happens sometimes, you get surprised. Like you stand on there and you're like, whoa, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was, right? It's the same concept. Some of these people come in the door and it's almost like
fear.
It is without
it's fear.
It is fear.
Absolutely.
It's fear of two things: knowing what they have
and not knowing
what they have.
Exactly.
Right. So when you put those two things in place, it's like that stupid commercial. I love that Avoya commercial. There's two idiots that are standing there, and one guy's, how do you prepare for retirement? I'm hoping for the best. Hoping for a good retirement.
Yeah.
Right? Get out of here.
Hope's not
good. Hope's not the plan. But when people are shocked to know what they have, it works not only to their advantage, but to also our advantage.
Yeah, and not only that, we had a very young couple who were in some debt, right, Rand? And
that's a great story.
Yeah, it was a great story. They came to us, they were in a lot of debt, and they're like, hopeless that it was never going to happen. And then we got into a discussion with them a year later. They're like, we got out. Exactly. You told us what to do. We hit it like exactly how you said. It was a part of the plan. We told them like what to hit first, pay off this, pay off that. And to come back around a year later and say, we did it, and now we've got money and we're ready to go. It's an amazing thing.
Well, that's what I mean by it helps us too, because what we are able to see immediately is what, number one, are your motivational points?
Right.
But number two, really, what are the hierarchies of concerns in which we need to tackle right away?
That's right.
We may not be looking at them from your standpoint, and that's what we need to do. And we actually try to ask all those probing questions in order to get to that point right away. But most people start with, well, I have money, I want to make more of it. Well, that's not actually the starting point of everybody's conversation where it should be from an importance point. But number two is, from a planning perspective, this couple that Peggy was just speaking of, they came in the door with a ridiculous amount of debt comparative to what they were actually making, especially
correct.
Since they were then down to one income.
Yes.
They had two small little 401k rollovers, which, in the whole scheme of things, were literally inconsequential.
Right.
And when we went through the entire debt planning and cash flow analysis, we figured out that there were a number of places in which they can actually cut in their budget right away,
right?
Which they did, and then we showed them how to actually fold over an amount of money each month into the next bill that they needed to pay off.
Yeah,
and they accelerated the payoff faster than they thought that they could. And the interesting part about it was, as Peggy mentioned, when they got a little bit of success, they were all excited.
They were very excited. Right? I was excited for them.
And then they would call and they'd be like, "You can't believe this. We just paid this one a little earlier."
Yes, it was amazing. And it was and they came in fearful. They came in thinking they could not do this. There was no hope for them. They were going to be in debt for the rest of their lives. They were never going to be able to save money, and that was their goal. They wanted to make sure they had some money.
And they're a young couple with kids.
Yes.
Right? And now the money in which, now they're debt free, but now what they're doing is, instead of actually taking that money and dumping it into credit cards.
Right, they're saving.
They're now actually saving.
Yeah, it's so awesome. Yeah.
It's a
awesome story.
Tremendous success story.
It is, definitely.
Right? Tremendous success story.
All right, let me give that website real quick, therealretireesofnewjersey.com, talking a lot about income and retirement, the myths of how much do you really need versus what is your budget, what is your spending. So when somebody comes in and takes advantage of that very first consultation, we always know it's no cost, no obligation to sit down and just have this conversation. You do a deep dive into their portfolio. And this answer can be anything. I know we're talking about income here, but what do you find that most people get wrong? Is it tax strategy? Is it their budget? Is it not having the right income streams, thinking about Social Security, annuities, or whatnot? What do most people get wrong when they start retirement planning?
I would say almost every single thing that you said. For different people, it's just a different thing. Like I could hit it on a point. Every point that you just state could be a different point for each one of the new clients that come in the door. And that's what we're here to help with, is to, start the plan.
Why do you go to a doctor?
Right. You want to be diagnosed, wrong, right? And you want to be diagnosed.
If something wasn't wrong,
right?
You wouldn't go.
So we try to diagnose, right? We're doctors of financial.
There's no MD at the end of our names.
No, definitely
like
not.
I'm not trying to say to that degree, but
right.
People go to they go to professionals for reasons.
Right.
You go to a dentist because your teeth hurt.
Yes.
You get your car done by a professional mechanic because it ain't working right. Right. If everything was working perfectly within your financial plan, you wouldn't need a financial plan.
Right. It's true. And even you could, everybody likes to look stuff up. You can look stuff up till you're blue in the face, but you need someone who knows what they're doing.
The internet is a plethora of mental gymnastics.
It is.
Right? For every article you find pro,
you can
can
a con.
Find one con.
Absolutely.
Right? And for every to-do yourself, you have a story of a to-do-yourself disaster.
Right. And that's why it's good to go to someone who is an expert in the field of what they do. That's why it's good to get a financial planner, people.
The ones you get I did it myself.
Yeah.
And here's what happened.
Yeah.
You get a buy my book at $19.99 at the end of the website, right?
Yeah.
It's always this, this is what happened to me. And if you want to find out how to do it for yourself, here, buy this.
Right.
Right. It's always an upsell on the story. So I don't think anybody's going to buy the book if the outcome turned out to be crap.
Right.
Right. So there's always going to be a rainbow at the end of that story, ladies and gentlemen. And maybe sometimes there are. There's no doubt about it. I mean, there are some obvious success stories. And you don't absolutely have to have a financial advisor to do what you're doing, as long as you want to do all the work, right? So if you're that much of a do-it-yourselfer and you think you can do it, you're going to take upon all the risk as well.
That's right.
And the learning curve's a little longer if you do it yourself.
All right, let's do this. Let's hit pause, because I want to have a long-form conversation about the DIY method of retirement planning. And I know if I wind Randy up, we're going to be here for like 3 hour and a half.
Yeah, no, 3. 3 hours. Not an hour and a half, 3 hours.
3 hours. There it is. But I do want to get your take on that. So with that being said, we're going to hit pause for this week. And we say it every single week. If you know somebody that needs some guidance, a little bit of an education about their retirement strategies, please share the show with your friends, with your families. This is The Real Retirees of New Jersey. It's powered by Artemis Wealth Advisors and Liberty Financial Group. We will see y'all next week. As always, thank you. Thank you for streaming the show. Until then, this has been The Real Retirees of New Jersey with Randy and Peggy Fisher.
We are an independent financial services firm helping individuals create retirement strategies using a variety of financial and insurance products to custom suit their needs and objectives. Investment advisor services offered through Artemis Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Artemis Wealth Advisors is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Please consult with your attorney, accountant, and or tax advisor for advice concerning your particular circumstances. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Randolph A. Fisher, insurance license number 9616074, and Liberty Financial Group, LLC, and Peggy Fisher, national license number 189-42003 and 570-5833.